Have you ever been in a situation where someone asks you a question and you're unsure of how to respond confidently and clearly? Whether you're in a meeting, a sales pitch, or even a casual conversation, how you handle questions can make or break how others perceive you. What if I told you there's a simple structure that can help you engage deeply, improve your leadership, and make you stand out from your peers? I'm Matt Riley, and welcome to Learn Something New. This channel's all about converting the ordinary into extraordinary. If you've ever found yourself unsure of how to respond to a question in a high-pressure environment, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to show you a proven method that will not only help you answer questions with confidence, it will also build trust and provide real value in your interactions. A few years ago, I was leading a sales team that constantly got bombarded with client questions. Now, questions are great because they show interest and can be a sign of a potential sale. However, my team struggled despite giving solid answers. They weren't converting and closing deals. It felt like we were constantly missing opportunities, and the frustration was building. What was the problem? My team was providing information, but they were missing the real concerns behind the client's questions. After reviewing numerous call recordings, I realized they weren't addressing the underlying needs of the clients. The question behind the questions. On a side note, that's a great book, and I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. That's when I introduced the RARC method. I call it RARCing. Within weeks, client engagement skyrocketed and so did sales. In this video, I'll teach you that same method, and later I'll share an even deeper insight. The real power of questions goes beyond just answering them. So stick with me and let's dive in. Now that you've heard how the RARC method transformed my team's approach to client interactions, let's break it down so you can start using it today. This simple yet powerful structure will not only help you handle questions professionally, but also build stronger connections with your audience. So let's dive into each step of the RARC and understand how it can work for you. Part 1. The first R is for reconfirm, the power of reconfirming questions. The first step in the RARC method is reconfirm. Reconfirming is restating the question in your own words to ensure that you fully understood what's being asked. This might seem like an extra step, but it's actually crucial for a few reasons. First, there's proven psychology behind it. Research in communication and cognitive psychology shows that people have an inherent need to feel understood. By reconfirming someone's question, you validate their thoughts, which builds trust. According to a study from Harvard University, when people feel heard, they engage more positively and are more likely to open up. This simple step lays the foundation for productive conversations. Think of it like this. You're in a relationship and your partner says, "We never spend enough time together." A typical response might be, "What are you talking about? We just spent the whole weekend together." Now instead, try reconfirming. "So you feel like we aren't spending enough quality time together, right?" The conversation immediately shifts towards understanding rather than defense, making it more productive. Now consider this in a professional setting. How often have you jumped straight into answering a question without making sure you fully understand it? By reconfirming the question, you ensure that you're addressing the true concern, not just what you think they want to hear. Take a moment to reflect. Have you ever misunderstood the question because you didn't first confirm its intent? Let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. Part 2. The A is for ask. Ask for clarification. It shows that you care. The next is the ask step. After you reconfirm the question, it's crucial to ask, "Did I hear that correctly?" Or, "Is that what you were asking?" This might seem like a small detail, but it's incredibly powerful. If you're wondering why such a small detail is so powerful, it's because by asking for clarification, you're showing that you genuinely care about understanding their question. This is where I often tell my sales team, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And let me say that again because it's worth repeating. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. When you ask for clarification, it's like you're telling the other person, your question matters to me, and it's important that I fully understand it. Psychologists have long understood that people aren't just looking for a direct answer. They're looking to see if you're invested in them. When you take that extra moment to clarify, it signals that you're listening actively and truly care what they're asking. This builds trust and opens the door for deeper engagement. Here's an analogy. Imagine you're at a restaurant and the waiter asks, "What would you like on your sandwich?" You say lettuce, tomato, and mustard, but no onion and no mayo. Then the waiter repeats it back to you to confirm. "Just to make sure I got it right, you want lettuce, tomato, and mustard. You definitely don't want onions or mayonnaise. Did I get that right?" How much more confident do you feel that your sandwich will arrive exactly how you want it versus if they just said, "Okay, thanks"? One of my team members was once on a call with a potential client, and the client asked, "What are the benefits of this?" My team member gave a solid answer, but the client wasn't impressed. After reviewing the call, we realized he didn't ask for clarification. He answered what he thought the client wanted to know, but missed the true intent behind the question. After implementing this step, our engagement levels skyrocketed and more deals started closing. Take a moment to think. Have you ever misunderstood what someone was really asking because you didn't ask for clarification? How did that turn out? Let me know in the comments below. Part 3. The second R is for respond. Provide the value they need. Now we move to the third step, the response. This is your chance to deliver value. Here's the key. Don't just provide a generic answer. Your response should be tailored to what the person truly wants and needs. Here's where cognitive load theory comes into play. People's brain can only process a limited amount of information at once. Overloading someone with details they don't need can confuse them or even cause them to disengage. Instead, aim for a clear, concise answer that will address the specific concern behind the question. Don't try to boil the ocean with your response. It may leave the other person feeling like they're drinking from a fire hose. Think of a time you've been in a meeting where you had a limited window to communicate. If your leader asks you how a project is progressing, giving a 10-minute explanation just isn't effective. Instead, focus on key results and next steps. This shows that you respect their time and that you can communicate effectively, boosting your credibility. This is where you can truly shine, by giving a thoughtful, concise response that cuts through the noise and gets to the heart of the matter. Part 4. The C is for confirm. Close the loop and build trust. Finally, the last step in the RARC method is confirm. After delivering a response, don't assume the conversation is over. Ask, did that answer your question? Or is there anything else you'd like to clarify? This is a critical step because it closes the loop and ensures the person feels satisfied. The psychology behind this step is powerful. It taps into what's known as the consistency principle. People are more likely to feel positive about interactions when they've agreed along the way. By confirming their satisfaction, you're reinforcing the idea that their question was important and your answer was valuable, and the conversation is complete. Imagine you're presenting data in a meeting and someone asks a question. You answer, but without confirming that you've addressed their concern, the conversation feels incomplete. Now, however, if you follow up with, "Did that cover what you needed to know?" it demonstrates professionalism, reinforces trust, and leaves them feeling heard. Next time you answer someone's question, try to confirm whether your response was helpful, and watch how it changes the dynamic of the conversation. Now that you've learned the RARC method in steps, let's see how it comes together in a role play. Whether you're in sales, customer service, or any field that involves communication, the RARC method can be adapted to fit your needs. In this role play, I'm going to act as my brother-in-law and good friend Thomas. He owns a coffee company called Daily Decadence. Imagine that a client asked him a common but important question. What makes your coffee better than the other options out there? Let's see how the RARC method can turn a simple question into a trust-building conversation. Here's the role play example. What makes your coffee better than all the other coffee out there? Great question. Just to make sure I understand you correctly, you're asking how Daily Decadence stands out compared to other coffee brands. Is that right? Yes, that's exactly what I'm asking. And to get a little bit more clarity, are you more interested in the taste and quality of the coffee itself? Or are you also thinking about our sustainability practices and ethical sourcing? Well, I'm actually more concerned with the quality and taste. We want something that stands out in flavor. Thanks for that. Daily Decadence takes pride in sourcing only the highest quality beans. We ensure that your beans have a unique roasting process that brings out the rich, bold flavors without the bitterness you might find in other brands. Our coffee is crafted to give our clients a truly luxurious experience with every cup. That sounds fantastic. I love the idea of smooth, rich flavors without bitterness. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Does that answer your question, or is there anything else you'd like to explore further? That covers it perfectly. Thank you. Whether you're selling coffee, a product, or an idea, the RARC method helps build trust and clarity in any conversation. It's versatile, and you can adapt it to fit your specific needs no matter what industry you're in. And if you're a coffee lover, be sure to check out the description of this video for a link to Daily Decadence. If you like great coffee, you should definitely check out this company. It could be a game changer for your coffee world. The hidden power of questions. Now that you know the RARC method, let me share something even deeper than I promised earlier, an insight most people overlook while handling questions. It's not just about answering questions effectively. It's about using questions to guide and strengthen relationships. Here's the surprising insight. Questions aren't just about getting the right answer. They're an opportunity to steer the conversation, build trust, and create meaningful connections. Most people treat questions as a task to be completed, focusing only on giving a response. The real power of RARCing lies in using each question as a tool to guide the dialogue towards a shared goal and aligned interest. Every question gives you an opportunity not just to respond, but also to influence the direction of the conversation and ensure both parties feel valued. Think of a question like a dance, where you're not just following, you're also leading. In business, this means that you don't just simply answer. You use the question to guide the conversation where it needs to go. Whether you're leading a team, closing a sale, or building personal relationships, thoughtful questions are the key to unlocking deeper trust and stronger connections. After my sales team learned the RARC method, they didn't just get better at answering questions, they became better at leading the conversations. Instead of passively responding, they used questions to guide clients towards seeing the value in our services and products. This shift not only improved how clients viewed us, but also led to closing more deals and a significantly increased conversion. That's the hidden power of questions. They aren't just requests for information, they're tools to build relationships, influence decisions, and shape perceptions. When you use the RARC method, you're not just answering, you're leading the conversation and building lasting trust. Let's quickly recap the key takeaways from today's video so you can start using the RARC method right away. First, reconfirm the question by restating it in your own words. This shows that you've actually listened and ensures you're fully understanding what's being asked. Next, ask for clarification. This shows that you genuinely care about getting the question right, and it opens the door for further explanation. Remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Then respond with a clear, concise answer that provides specific value for the person's needs. Avoid overwhelming them with unnecessary details. Focus on what truly matters to them. Finally, by asking if your response fully addressed their question, this builds trust, closes the loop, and ensures the conversation ends on a positive note. The true power of RARC isn't just in answering the questions, it's in guiding conversations and building lasting trust. This method allows you to lead, not just respond. So next time you're asked a question, whether it's in a meeting, a presentation, or even a casual conversation, challenge yourself to run through these steps in your mind and see how much more confident and clear your response has become. Before you go, if you're ready to dive deeper into the art of asking questions, check out my latest video right over here. In it, I break down different levels of questions, from basic close-ended questions to insightful open-ended questions and groundbreaking penthouse-level questions. Understanding the 3 levels of questions can transform your leadership and communication skills. If you want to master the power of asking the right question, this video is a must-watch. So don't miss out. Click the video now and take your communication skills to the next level. I'm Matt Riley, your guide to converting the ordinary into extraordinary. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you very much.